Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Selling Hope, and I got another video for y'all. This is an old video actually I was supposed to put out, and this is about like the John Morant situation that happened with the Indiana Pacers, right? And you know, allegedly there was an altercation that happened on the court, and then off court, John Morant was in the SUV, and some of his entourage pointed a laser at the Indiana Pacers staff. Some of the staff said that they seen a gun. You know, so hasn't been confirmed, but there is an investigation that's going on as to, you know, what actually happened or what transpired or took place. Also, there was another situation with Shannon that happened in John Morant's father at the basketball game. So I'm gonna show y'all a video clip, and then I'm gonna come back with my commentary.
You pretend like you hard, but you not, Ja. You got a $200 million contract, and you want people in the NBA to think you hood, to think you gangster, because you roll with these type of people. Bro, you putting yourself in harm's way when you don't have to. Nobody looks at you, Ja, and think, man, that's a thug. He hood. He down. He about that. You not. Stop pretending. You're not going to do nothing. What you're going to do is get yourself in trouble, put yourself and your family in harm's way for street cred.
Now, before I even get into my, Shannon this funny. He said, you not tough. You ain't going to do nothing. Oh shit. Yeah, but it's anyway, before I even get into my commentary, make sure if you're rocking with me, make sure you don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You don't forget to like, so the algorithm can push it out there, and share it with somebody if you think I'm saying anything beneficial. You can also click in the description below if you want to purchase my book, Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang. Also, you can click the link to the documentary I'm in, We Came to Heal, or to become a part of my channel membership. So boom, so let's get into the commentary. Right now I got a few points that I want to make, right? And one thing I realized, like, look, I don't know where John Morant, I believe he grew up in South Carolina. I don't know if he grew up impoverished. I don't know if he grew up in the hood. But one thing I do know is this, that in this life we got contenders and then we got pretenders, right? We got people who really about that life. And a lot of times it's not because they wanted it to be that way, right? It's because they did what they had to do, right? It's a dog-eat-dog world, right? You're either going to be a sheep or you're going to be a wolf, right? So some people had to do certain things that they had to do, and they became conditioned a certain way. And then you got the people who just wanted to be that wolf, but they never really had it in them. You know, they never really was about that life. They probably looked up to those dudes, right? They probably wanted to be like them. They probably even pretended to be tough, right? And when it was all said and done and you had to do certain things, or it was time for you to prove yourself, a lot of times those dudes fold, right? So again, I don't know what this brother is about, but I do know that just because you grow up in the hood don't mean you hood, don't mean you street, don't mean you body, don't mean you're willing to go do certain shit, right? That's just the reality. A lot of people grow up in the hood, they just sleep there because their parents or they just don't have enough money to go move and live in a more affluent neighborhood. But what I really wanted to get into, right? So the pretenders, right? There's some dudes, like Shannon was saying, like this dude got a $200 million contract, right? There's some dudes who are getting good money, who have enough money to change the lives and the conditions of not only themselves, but the people that they love and they care for. And they're doing stupid shit. And they trying to act tough. This reminds me of the video when Giddy was like, ooh, look at me, I'm tough. But he was like, yo, these dudes be 35 years old and plus trying to act like they tough, right? He's not an older dude, but the same thing kind of like applies, right? You got dudes who wasn't really about that life. And again, I don't know what this brother was about, but you got dudes that are really not about that life. And they be trying to act tough. You got rappers that do it. You got entertainers that do it, right? Sometimes it's just for publicity. But a lot of times people just be acting, and it's like he said, like, yo, you making mad money. Like, what are you doing trying to act tough? Like, trying to portray an image in the NBA, bro. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, and that's why they say, yo, you can move. You could take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. Right? Like, it don't matter where you go. And I'm not saying I don't know him, right? But I'm saying that there's a lot of individuals who, even after they make it out the conditions that they're in, they make stupid decisions. for credibility. Like, why do you even need credibility from anybody, right? Like, I don't know if y'all remember, like a few years ago, well, like almost like 10 years ago, Plaxico Burress. Some of y'all might not even know who that is, right? But he caught like the game-winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. He used to play for the Giants. I think it was the Super Bowl 08, 09, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is, he shot himself in a club. Now, he was living in Jersey, and then there was a series of robberies. People was breaking into celebrity and famous people houses and stuff like that. We hear about stuff like that all the time. So he said, but he was going to a club. Like, you got in the club with the gun. I understand you take the gun with you because when you come back home, people been robbed at gunpoint, and their doorsteps and stuff like that. I understand that, right? At the same time, you're also rich, right? You probably should have some type of, I don't know. But again, maybe he grew up in the hood. But the point I'm trying to say is, he shot himself in the club. You went into the club with a loaded gun on you, right? And they searched people to go, but they let him go in the club, and then you shot yourself. So, of course, from the outside looking in, it just looks a certain way. Of course, I understand what he was saying about the robberies and people, being robbed at gunpoint or whatever. But it's like, you ended up shooting yourself, homie. Now you just look stupid. You're a man making millions of dollars playing in the NFL. Some people might say, oh, you could have got security. You could have did this. You could have did that, right? We could all say that from the outside looking in. But it's like, yo, you ruined yourself. You ruined yourself by shooting yourself. And then they made an example out of him. They gave him like 20 months, right? Because the mayor was like, nah, we got to make an example out of these celebrities, right? So another thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of people be doing stuff for street credibility. A lot of people. I think, honestly, the music industry does this too, right? From time to time, I think that when artists are like, their fan base is dwindling, or when they're not being a topic of conversation out there in the media, or, in households or in the world, right? I believe they be telling some of these artists, like, yo, go do something dumb. Go catch a gun charge. Like, honestly, I think that is like the most, oh yeah, he tough. He got caught with a gun. He bought that life. He had a gun on him. And I really seriously believe that. I believe that the music industry and these execs be like, all right, boom, we got, because we, of course, propagandists believe that there's no such thing as bad publicity. So I believe, again, I'm not saying this is facts, but I believe, again, we're going to separate the contenders from the pretenders. There's some people who really about that life, right? And that's a smaller number than the pretenders. The pretenders is a whole bigger number than the contenders, right? So I believe some individuals, they tell them, yo, go do something dumb. They catch a gun charge. Now they everybody talking about them. Yo, what's the name got caught with a gun charge? What's the name? He was in this type of scandal. Whatever. And all the times it's different scandals. And then you got the people who really about that life. I'm not talking about those. They probably been holding guns. They probably been doing wild shit for a long time. But I believe the industry does do that, to create some type of talk of the town, or blogs, or bring some type of, like, even when people be advertising to sell an album, you always notice it's like some type of scandal, or at least nowadays, right? It's always some type of something, marketing scheme. You get what I'm saying? Even with the 50 Cent versus Kanye West, if Kanye West beat me, I'm gonna start rapping. Like, it's a lot of different marketing schemes that be a part of the thing. But the point is that I wanted to get to back to John Moran and other entertainers, right? Like, it's some people that even when they are out of that, even if they was in that situation, right? When they out of that limelight, you got like the Kodak Black. Of course, Kodak Black probably grew up a certain way, but you got to get to a certain point where it's like, you got to realize and have the maturity and the awareness, like, yo, I can't be doing the same shit I was doing. I'm not a thousandaire no more. I'm not a paycheck to paycheck kind of dude anymore. I'm not a beggar no more. Like, when you making a certain type of money, you have to, and of course it's not going to happen like that, right? But at a certain point, you got to start to separate yourself. You got to be like, I can't be doing this dumb shit. I can't be hanging around with broke motherfuckers. I can't be hanging around with leeches in the hood. I can't be posted on corners. I can't be posted on the block. I'm not saying you neglect your homies. I'm just saying, when you start making a certain caliber of money, when you go into another tax bracket, you cannot be doing the same shit. They got a saying, if a rich dude if you're a millionaire hanging out with 6 broke people, you're gonna be the 7th. Or they say if you hanging out with 6 broke people, you're gonna be the 7th. Right? It's just like, and they say the opposite. Like, if you're hanging out with 6 millionaires, you're gonna be the 7th, right? So it's about the people and the company that you keep around. That don't mean don't show love, say what up from time to time, but it's like the people who you constantly keep around you, it's the people who are probably gonna achieve dominance and influence over you. So I just wanted to say that, like, yeah, man, like when you get to a certain level, you can't be having the same mindset. You just can't. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Stay blessed. Peace.